That breaking news is out of Hawaii, where fear that a dam could fail has triggered thousands to evacuate. Good evening once again, everybody. I'm Michael Brownlee.
I'm Kathy Vara in for Colleen. This is happening on Oahu, the most visited island in Hawaii.
What if the most dangerous disasters in the world didn't begin with destruction? No earthquake shaking the ground, no explosion lighting up the sky, no moment where everything suddenly falls apart. What if it started with something simple, something ordinary, something people trust? Rain, a soft sound on rooftops, a steady rhythm on windows, the kind of weather people barely notice. But what if that rain never stopped? What if it kept falling long after the ground had absorbed all it could? What if every drop after that had nowhere to go? Because in Wahiawa, this isn't just a theory. It's something that has already happened, an extreme flood event that shocked communities, caused widespread destruction and raised serious concerns about how prepared infrastructure really is under pressure. At the center of attention stood Wahiawa Dam, a structure built to control water, to regulate flow, to protect communities from flooding. But even the strongest systems have limits. And when those limits are tested, results can be unpredictable. The storm didn't begin as a disaster. There was no single moment of panic. Instead, it developed slowly. Moist air moved across the Pacific. Cloud systems gathered strength, and then the rain began. At first, everything felt normal. A typical rainy day in a tropical region, water flowing through drainage systems, streams filling gradually. Nothing unusual, nothing alarming. But then rain continued, after hour, day after day, without pause. And that's when the situation began to change. Because the ground can only absorb so much water. Soil acts like a sponge, but every sponge has a limit once it becomes saturated. It can no longer take in more. From that moment on, every drop of rain becomes runoff, water that must move somewhere. In a place like Oahu, that movement happens quickly. The terrain is steep, water flows downhill with speed, collecting in streams, merging into rivers, increasing in volume with every passing minute. And as more water joins the flow, system begins to strain, rivers swell beyond their banks, drainage systems struggle to keep up, and eventually they fail. Not because they are poorly designed, because they were never meant to handle this much water at once. Fluting begins not as a sudden wave, as a gradual takeover, water creeping into streets, rising around homes, spreading across neighborhoods, and once it starts, accelerates, because gravity does not stop and water does not wait. The situation around Wahiawa Dam became critical as water levels continued to rise. Dams are engineered to handle pressure, but they are designed based on expected conditions, historical patterns, predictable limits, but extreme weather does not always follow those patterns. As water builds behind a dam, pressure increases. Every inch of rising water adds stress. Engineers monitor this constantly, using instruments, analyzing data, watching for signs of instability, because the margin between control and failure can become dangerously thin. Even the possibility of failure changes everything. Emergency alerts are prepared, evacuation plans are reviewed, communities downstream are put on notice. Because if a dam were to fail, consequences would be immediate, a massive release of water, a sudden surge moving with force, little time to react, little time to escape. During the flood event in Wahiawa, the damage spread quickly. Homes were inundated, roads turned into rivers. Vehicles were stranded or swept away. Brisk-rocking systems were overwhelmed. Power outages occurred. Communication networks were disrupted. And the financial cost climbed rapidly, hundreds of millions in damage, eventually approaching the billion-dollar mark. But numbers do not capture the full impact, because the real story is about people, families forced to leave their homes, communities facing uncertainty. Daily routines completely disrupted, and recovery is never immediate. When the water recedes, leaves behind destruction, mud covering floors, debris scattered everywhere, structures weakened. Water contamination creating health risks. Every affected area must be cleaned, repaired, rebuilt. And that process takes time. Weeks, months, sometimes even longer. The flood raised serious questions. Are current systems enough? Can infrastructure handle future events? Are communities prepared for extreme conditions? Because events like this are not isolated. They are becoming more frequent in many parts of the world. Weather patterns are shifting. Rainfall intensity can increase. Storm systems can become more unpredictable. And that means planning must evolve. Dams like Wahiawa Dam must be continuously evaluated, not just for average conditions, but for worst-case scenarios, because it is the extremes that test the system. The flood in Wahiawa was not just a natural event. It was a warning, a signal that even well-designed systems can be pushed to their limits, and that preparation must go beyond expectations. Because water is powerful, it moves, it adapts, it finds paths where none seem to exist. And when too much of it arrives at once, control becomes difficult. The images from the flood tell a clear story. Entire streets submerged, homes surrounded by water, vehicles partially underwater, landscapes transformed beyond recognition. But for the people who lived through it, these are not just images, they are memories. Moments of uncertainty, moments where everything changed. This is why awareness matters, because understanding risk is the first step toward reducing it. Preparation saves time. And in events like this, time is everything, because floods do not wait. They do not slow down. They do not give second chances. Once the system is overwhelmed, response becomes the only option. And response is always harder than prevention. In the end, this is not just a story about a flood. It is a story about limits, the limits of infrastructure, the limits of planning, and the limits of what systems can handle under extreme conditions. It is also a story about resilience, how communities respond, how they recover, how they rebuild. Because despite the destruction, life continues, communities come together, efforts begin to restore what was lost, and lessons are learned. Because the goal is not just to recover, to be better prepared next time, because there will be a next time. Rain will fall again, storms will return, and the system will be tested once more. The only question is how prepared we will be when that moment comes, because when the rain doesn't stop, everything else must adapt. And sometimes that adaptation determines everything.